Hi everyone, just wanted to talk about 5 steps to build your own custom Zwift workout library and things I would think about along the way as you do it. My first tip is basically don't overthink or overcomplicate your workouts in the process. If you look at some workouts from like Zwift and Trainer Road to a lesser extent, there is just a lot of complexity there that you don't really need. If you look at workouts that are in some coaching plans and put out, documented by coaches, and in the training and racing power meter book, they're just not that complicated. And mostly what you need to worry about is progressing your time and zone and your interval length over your current phase or period. So the first step for me in building out my workout library was to look at the types of workouts that I need for my current phase. So if I'm in a aerobic endurance building phase, like a base phase, that's going to mean some recovery workouts, some endurance workouts, and I'm going to be phasing in over time some tempo and sweet spot workouts. If I'm doing, say, like a FTP build or threshold build type phase, then I'm going to have more threshold intervals, over-unders, maybe some super threshold work, maybe some VO2 max intervals. But basically, you just need to look at kind of where you are, where your next current phase is, and build up the workouts that you need from that. Two of the main things you're going to look at with your workouts is building up or progressing your time and zone. So when I looked around, a lot of advice I saw was basically for your tempo, you're going to want to progress anywhere between, or have anywhere between 30 minutes and 2 hours of time and zone, and similar for a sweet spot. And then when you move to threshold and higher intensity work, the amount of time and zone per workout is going to decrease. So most threshold advice I saw was anywhere between 20 and 60 minutes. Super threshold work, so that'd be a little bit above threshold, but not quite in VO2 max territory, or 20 to 35 minutes. For VO2 max, anywhere between 15 and 25 minutes. Next thing you're going to have to think about is progressing your interval length. So basically you need to look at kind of where you are, what you think you can currently handle, and then just build up a progression. So for tempo, that might be starting at 2 by 20 minutes, 2 by 30 minutes, 3 by 25, and just go as far as you want to go, or you can go considering the time you have available. For sweet spot, that might be 3 by 15 to 4 by 15 to 3 by 20 to 3 by 25 to 3 by 30 to whatever. For threshold, that might be starting at 4 by 10, 4 by 12, 3 by 15, 4 by 15, 3 by 20. You can kind of push that out depending on how much time you have. And for super threshold work, I usually do a 5 by 6 minute and then cut it back a little and do 4 by 7 and 4 by 8 minute, considering they're fairly intense. Next step is, once you've identified the kind of progression and type of workouts that you want, is identifying the power targets. So when you find the intensities, you're going to have to identify the targets that work for you. And this is more specifically for above threshold work. Under threshold, it's a little more common between athletes for the different power targets they need, but once you're above threshold, there's a bit more individual variation. So VO2 max is commonly prescribed at around 120%, and that's too high for me. That might not be high enough for you, so you kind of need to figure out where those need to sit. For my personal workouts, I usually target tempo intervals at between 80 and 85% of FTP. For sweet spot, I don't overthink it. There's different ranges depending on whoever you talk to. Generally, I've seen it between 88 and 95%, but I've seen it up as high as 88 to 97%. So I just do them at 90%. Even, don't worry about it. You don't need to overcomplicate it. For threshold, I target 97 to 100%. For super threshold, I generally target 105-ish%, maybe a little bit higher. And for VO2 max, for me, I do it at around 115%. You might need to adjust that depending on your own particular power profile and how you respond to those types of workouts. And then number 5 is to just build it up over time. Build what you need for the current phase. Then when you're planning out your next phase, add on any additional workouts you think you need, and just slowly over time you can accumulate your own custom workout library. And then once I've gone through these basic things, that's when I would worry about more specialty workouts like over-unders, microbursts, variable intensity VO2 max intervals, things like that. We hope you got something out of this. Have a good one.